Instagram highlights are something that we are all completely aware of when it comes to growing an Instagram account. So why on earth do we always neglect them? Well, don't worry, because in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you exactly how you need to be structuring your Instagram highlights. How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Ethan Bridge and I'm host of the Social Media Marketing School podcast and the guy behind the Instagram page at The Marketing Ethan. Now, today we are going to be talking everything to do with Instagram highlights. We're all aware of them, we all have them, but we often neglect them. Or we simply, in our highlights, just post our favorite pieces of content or a highlight reel of all of the pieces of content we've posted. We aren't utilizing that space on our profile the best way we could be. Because as a business account, as a personal brand, your highlights can be incredibly effective at converting your customers, whether that be sending them to another platform, sending them to your website, getting them to approach you about your product or service. And in some cases, people don't have any highlights at all. But today, I'm going to be teaching you exactly what you need to be doing with your highlights, how you should be structuring them, and how you can essentially make the most of them. So without any further ado, let's just hop straight into highlight number one. And that is an about you. You've done the difficult part. You've got someone to visit your profile. They've read your bio, but they're still not quite sure about who you are or what you do. There's no personality to your page. There's no human behind the content you create. Having an about you highlight can instantly build that connection with that page visitor and have them completely understand who you are, what you do, why you're doing what you do, and what they can expect to experience from your page. So I would, with that first highlight, make it an about you highlight. Record a video of yourself. Don't have this as a text post. Don't have it as something that there's no face behind it. Make it you, make it human, make it something people can instantly connect with, because that could be the difference between someone following you or not following you. Yes, your bio will do a lot of the job. Your bio should be telling people who you are, what you do, and what they can expect from your page, but reinforcing that with a highlight of you physically saying it to the camera, introducing yourself to these page visitors is a great way to build that instant connection with your audience. It humanizes your profile and it makes people trust you more. It's that trust that we're trying to build as soon as people visit our page. People will judge your profile by the way it looks, by what you say, and that might not be enough for them. But if you have that about you highlight, instantly gives that humanization. And if you've edited it in a way that is high quality and you've spoken in a way that makes you approachable, you are much more likely to convert that page visitor into a follower. Now, you might just have people that follow you for the sake of following you, and they just stumble across your page and think, what on earth does this person actually do? Why am I following this person in the first place? Again, that about you highlight is going to help them justify the case as to why they should continue following you. Or if you've got a potential client or somebody that wants to buy a product from you, but they don't understand who you are as a person or who they are buying from, if you aren't someone that frequently shows your face on your stories or posts any video content, that person-to-person interaction, that face-to-face interaction that you're in a way providing them through a video of yourself introducing you, may result in that conversion that you were hoping for. That all they needed was that little about you highlight to push them over the edge to help them buy your product. So highlight number one, make it an about you. Highlight number two, we are utilizing our highlights here to convert our followers into customers, to help build our business. Because at the end of the day, if you're listening to this podcast, it's likely that you are on social media to build a personal brand, build a business, and therefore make some money. So if you aren't leveraging this audience to send them into your sales funnel, you're not doing your job when it comes to Instagram. So if you aren't making people aware of your your offer is going to be your next highlight, then they're never going to buy from you in the first place. You could post the most amazing content. You could have a really engaged, loyal audience. But if you aren't making them aware of your offer, then they're never actually going to buy from you in the first place. People need to be aware of what you're selling in order to actually buy it. It sounds incredibly simple, but I could go on to 9 out of 10 people's profiles on Instagram and have no idea what products or services they actually sell because they aren't physically telling me. So yes, they may be building an audience. Yes, they may be building expertise within their niche, but they aren't leveraging that audience to actually build their business because nobody knows what they're actually selling in the first place. So again, like the About You highlights, I'd record a video of you talking about your products and services and what you do as a video, as a face-to-face interaction with this person. Because again, having that text highlight, having just words on a page, in my opinion, doesn't connect as much with your audience as a video of your face does. Again, it humanizes you. It humanizes your profile. It builds trust. And somebody's going to trust a human, especially if they've already consumed your content, over words on a page, just solely text. So I would record a video of you talking about your product or service, what you're doing for these people, what problems you're solving, really pushing that product in a way that is going to convince them to buy. But if you don't have that highlight about your offer, you aren't leveraging your audience. You aren't actually sending them down your sales funnel. So that, coupled with you talking about your product or service every now and again within your content, is really going to help build that business of yours. Now, you can already see here how we're leveraging our highlights to actually build our business, make some money, build awareness of what we're trying to build outside of Instagram. It's not us simply sharing our day-to-day life or sharing every piece of content we create. We're utilizing that highlight reel to actually benefit us financially from a business perspective. So now for highlight number 3, we need some social proof. We need some testimonials. Why should people trust you? What have you done for other people? Why should they go from that offer that you've mentioned in your previous highlight and actually buy it? Because at the end of the day, if you haven't got a big audience or you haven't shown your expertise or proven to your audience that you are worthwhile buying from, then it's unlikely that they're going to buy from you because they don't trust you. But if you've got testimonials that you've gained from outside of Instagram, not necessarily on Instagram, that people should be aware of, whether that be you've worked with a previous client and they've spoken highly of you, whether you've featured in an article somewhere, whether you've spoken on stage alongside other big creators or industry leaders, whether you've got a following on another platform that simply just hasn't had that crossover onto Instagram yet. All of these things are actually building that social proof of yours and consequently is going to help build that trust. So you need to be making people aware of these testimonials. It's a great way of showing people that you are good at what you do without having to create a piece of content solely sharing a testimonial. Put them in your highlights so that when everybody comes onto your page, they can instantly see why you are good at what you do. People actually trust you. And therefore, when people trust you, it's much more likely that they're actually going to buy from you. That trust, that expertise, that proof that you know what you're doing may be the difference between someone buying and not buying from you. So that social proof, those testimonials, they need to be there. You may not have them at the moment. So this may be a highlight that comes in over time as you receive that praise from your audience, as you do begin to sell products and services and get good feedback. but it is a long-term highlight. It's not something that you just do once and forget about and just think about the fact that you've got a highlight reel that has testimonials and social proof on it. You should always be adding to this highlight so that you have ongoing proof that you continue to be good at what you do. So we have an about you. We have one about your offer. We have one about social proof and testimonials. Now, the final one I want you to have is pushing people to other social platforms or other things that you may be building that you want people to follow. You should not be putting all of your eggs in one basket when it comes to social media. So you may just have a following on Instagram, for example. You may not be building anything else elsewhere. Now, if Instagram were to disappear overnight, all your followers would disappear and therefore you wouldn't be able to have anything else to leverage. But if you're building some things on the side, slowly but surely in the background, even if Instagram were to be deleted, you would have backups here, there, and everywhere. So for example, with me, on my highlights, I have one solely dedicated to my podcast. My podcast is something that can never be taken away from me. I own the content, I own the RSS feed, so people can always find my podcast no matter what. So if I am directing people from my Instagram, leveraging that audience, sending them to my podcast, I'm sending them to a content source that I actually own, that I know can never be taken away from me. So even if my Instagram were to be deleted or Instagram were to shut shop and disappear overnight, I can still contact my followers, my audience, through my podcast. So I would also have that highlight reel that directs people to other social channels of yours, whether that be Twitter, whether that be YouTube, whether that be a podcast, a blog, a newsletter. These things you need to be highlighting to your audience because you need to be diversifying just in case something goes wrong with that one platform that you are using where you have your sole follower base. So, highlight about it. Make people aware, send them to your other social platforms. And they are the 4 highlights that I recommend you use. And about you, your offer, social proof and testimonials, and then your other platforms where people can find you. That's it. Really that simple. And they are 4 highlights that are utilizing that space in the best way possible to actually grow your business. And that does wrap up today's video. But if you did enjoy, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turned on post notifications. That way you will never miss a video when I post one. But if you did enjoy, I did just want to mention that this is a part of my podcast series, Social Media Marketing School. And the audio version of the podcast is the place to be because I release this content a lot sooner over there than I do here on YouTube. So I'm going to leave some links in the description below. Make sure you are heading down there and subscribing. But if you've got any questions with regards to anything that I've mentioned, please just reach out to me on Instagram at @themarketingethan. Send me a DM and I'll make sure I get back to you no matter what. But I just want to finish off by saying, if you have made it to this point in the video, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.